I'm in overdrive, let me tell you how I feel.
Guys, welcome back to What You Sayin. I am your host Jada and I'm back with some very special guests. Please make sure to like, subscribe and also speak up in the comments if there's any guests that you have in mind that you think we should hit up, and let me know if there's any questions you have for us regarding all things media, all things talent. Let's get to it. I'm here with Britain's Got Talent finalists, Flintz and T4ylor. And it's been a while. It's actually been a while since we caught up.
Hot minute.
And so I'm really excited to just have a chat with you, see what's been going on, see what life's been like since that big moment. So do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
So yeah, we go by Flintz and
T4ylor.
Yeah.
with a 4 though, like there's the 4 in the name, and you can't miss that out. Like.
Can't miss out the 4. But yeah, no, we was on obviously Britain's Got Talent finalists, set something new. Yeah, like we just took it by storm.
Yeah, man.
And so basically, I feel like we need to sort of go back to the beginning, just for people watching. You know, if they don't watch Britain's Got Talent or weren't watching it from your audition. Yeah. So what actually happened? Like, you guys auditioned, but you didn't know each other. Can you like tell me a bit about that story?
So, yeah, cool. So like, we knew each other off Insta. Like I known him for about 2 years. No Taylor for about 2 years, and we met from doing like Instagram lives during lockdown. So like I hosted a live, like a lot of open mic stuff was going on during that time to get everyone entertained and that. So I did one, and at the site it was popping off, and then obviously Taylor come through, blessed the live with some keys. I was like, yeah, like you're cold, you're hard. So we fought each other, just literally stay connected, supported each other's bits and pieces. Like when he's on live, I would see, gas it. If I'm on live and he's like hosting, same thing. So yeah, then obviously the opportunity come up to be on Britain's Got Talent. I literally auditioned before lockdown. So not last year, year before. And I remember it was a day, I had a football match that day, and my birthday was the day after. Literally auditioned, and I didn't hear nothing back from the producer. I was like, okay, cool. Like, I didn't get it. So I was like, it's where it is. Like, everything happens for a reason. Then last year, November, they contacted me saying, oh, like, we've seen your video. We want you to come in. Is there any other bits and pieces you could show us that, like, you know, show a bit of versatility? So I showed them, and I was like, yeah, we want you to the judges, like, auditions. So I was like, cool. So that we was there trying to find a pianist for so long. Like I said, I knew a guy, but like he's not local. And then 4 days? It was like 4 days before, innit?
Bro, you hit me up on like the Thursday. I think the audition was on Tuesday.
Yeah,
like, it was mad.
Crazy. So what was your reaction?
I must have been sitting in college, and I feel like at this point of my life as well, all of my social stuff was running a bit dry, but like, I was trying to start doing different things. Like this was a point where I kind of left piano stuff a little bit more to the side, working more on vocal stuff for my own artistry. And then like suddenly sitting in college, got a text from Flintz. He was like, yo, I have the maddest question for you, yeah? But like I'm auditioning on Britain's Got Talent on Tuesday, and I need some sort of keys for it, and you need to make them. You need to get it sent across to the producers. I was like, okay, man, okay, let me sort it out. And yeah, I eventually, like, I think, to be honest, as soon as I got the message, I got to work on like loads of stuff that night just to get it done. You know what I mean? Like I was excited. It had to be done. Like it's something that you don't want to miss out on, kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I felt. Anyway, it was mad.
At that time, obviously. For those who don't know, I worked on Britain's Got Talent and worked with like the talent. And I remember sitting with you and sort of through the day just checking in on you, and you were like how you just sort of met for the first time in person.
Yeah.
Were you supposed to be a duo, or was it just supposed to be you as a rapper and then you as a pianist?
Yeah, it was just meant to be like me as a rapper, and then Taylor was like contributor. So I guess depending on however far I got, he would have just been there like
Literally,
back.
you have to sign like a contestant's like application form, like to agree that you're not going to say anything offensive or like anything on stage, like that kind of thing. Whereas I signed a contribution thing, which was literally like, just go on stage. You're basically signing to say that like you're willing to be on TV if you're going to be there, type thing. But like, yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was mad. The way it happened was just, it was nuts. It was so nuts. Like, it wasn't expected. Literally, before we went on, one of the producers was like to Taylor, "Oh, do you want a mic to like talk to the judges?" So he said, "Yeah." So obviously, when you go out, like I say to everyone, when you actually watch back the audition, and then they say, "Oh, like so we introduced ourselves," and they said, "Oh, together you are." You can see like there's like a little pause of like,
Because we're like, oh, together.
yeah, it was like,
Swear down.
oh. So that's when we just said like, oh, it was like Flintz and T4ylor. That's the first thing that came to mind, innit?
And you gotta bear in mind, I've pulled up on this day, like seeing it as like a business opportunity. I was like, sick, I could network with some cool people. Like that'd just be it. Like nice little opportunity. See myself on the TV like once, it'll be cool. And then like, I feel like it's because of how tight we were the whole day. Like in terms of like friendship wise, like it just clicked straight away.
Yeah.
For me, like I feel like it felt like we've been boys for however long. You know what I mean? When it came to being backstage and we were at that point where like we're preparing and they're like doing the filming like of you like being like you gotta do all the like cringy kind of shots backstage.
I'm
so stressed, like this could change my life forever, like all that stuff. Like so obviously doing all of that was meant to just be him, but like we got backstage and they were like, wait, don't you need a microphone as well? And I was like, sure. I was like, okay, like cool. And then we did all the shots together. But as we went round the corner, because the audition was Flint's, like that's what it was meant to be. Like I didn't even get to speak to Ant and Dec before we went out on stage, which you can't really notice because I don't know. Do they film us walking out on stage?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, they film like a little bit.
Yeah, but like when we walk out on stage, if you see, like we walk out from different parts of the stage, like because he's just spoken to Ant and Dec and done his little shot where it's like, oh, how you feeling? You excited? Like with them. And I had to stand like to the side of that off camera whilst he did that. That's where I think backstage we're a bit like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Apparently everyone was going nuts backstage because it weren't supposed to happen like that. So
Yeah. I think it was a bit unexpected. I remember like watching it from the side of the stage and being like, oh, they're a duo. And because the whole day I just thought you were literally going to play piano. But then I realised like it was probably better that way because do you know what I mean? Like it made so much more sense to have you guys as like a little brotherhood.
Yeah.
No,
the whole
better.
story worked out nicely.
It works better, to be fair. I feel like I say everything happens for a reason, innit?
Yeah.
So like it was meant to be like that. So you know I can't change that, which is good, innit? And we said as well that it was better that we went through it together because we could share the same experience together. Like we know what we're going through, we can relate to each other. And like if there's any issues or we feel in a certain way, like we both understand because we've both been through it.
Yeah.
Which works out because I feel like if I was to do it on my own, it'd be like a lot.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot to take in, process, and obviously I have my brothers and that as well. But obviously explaining it to them, they're not in the situation, so they're not able. They can relate to a certain extent, but not like to a deeper extent because they're not in the situation as well, innit?
Yeah. I feel really like grateful for it as well. Because with that moment happening, we could have got off stage and he could have been like, bro, why is this guy jumped on my thing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it could have been one of them. He could have came off and been like, yo, like, bro, I applied by myself, bro. Like, what is going on? So, like, obviously, for him to even, like, take me in and be able to, like, even though it was an accident, kind of see it as, like, a fate type thing. I'm just grateful for it because we wouldn't be doing what we're doing like if it was like that, you know what I mean? Yeah,
absolutely. Did you expect for it to be like go the way it did? And again, for those who don't know, like what was the outcome of your
we got
audition?
Golden Buzzer.
Yeah, from Alicia Dixon.
Yeah, from Alicia. Big up Alicia.
And so were you expecting it or were you just like, whoa, like how have we got here?
We like manifested that all day.
We did.
Like,
we manifested it all day. Yeah.
Like I have a video on my phone of me like in bed speaking to myself the night before. Bear in mind, like I wasn't part of the act or anything. But I was like going on Britain's Got Talent tomorrow with Flint's. I'm telling you, Alicia Dixon, Golden Buzzer. I swear to you, I said that. And bear in mind, we had no idea that only her Golden Buzzer was left as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like no idea. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't see Amanda Holden pressing a golden buzzer for a rapper as much as I'd see it for Alicia Dixon, obviously, because she's rapped before. Like,
literally, night before, I had a dream that we got the buzzer from Alicia, but I didn't know. Like, I didn't know she was the last one until the next day when we got there. She was like, but I didn't tell Taylor that because I didn't want to like jinx myself. But literally had the dream, and I woke up thinking, oh shit, that is real. Like, this actually happened, but then it didn't. And then when it happened, I was like, whoa, like that's mad. That's when I said, bro, like I had a dream the night before that we literally got golden buzzer from Alicia.
Yeah, it's mad.
It was weird. Like, it was so weird. Like,
it's stuff you see in dreams, like movie scenes, all of that. Because for me, obviously, I went there on the day as it being a business opportunity, like just kind of being in the background whilst he did all of his interviews and everything like that. Like, I'm watching him do that all day, and then it gets to the end of the day and suddenly I'm in it as well. You know what I mean? So it literally felt like a movie type thing. You get what I mean? Like the whole transcend is, it's mad.
Yeah, and I guess you were sort of brought in so last minute.
Yeah.
And then for it all to just happen last minute,
exactly.
right at the
like,
the
I didn't
end
get
when
any
you're on
process.
stage. Yeah, exactly. So just going back to before BGT, then you have been rapping for years now.
Wow, yeah. Since I was 17, properly. So I've been doing it for about 5 years. Next year would be 6. Long ass time. So I've seen many things, done many things. It's mad, yeah.
And what was the journey before BGT? Like, what were you doing?
I started making music, and like when I was in college making it, people would like violate, mock. Like, I do a freestyle. Some people, I'd be on the bus, they play it, but they're like laughing, they're violating. Like, people from my old school, some of them didn't really rate the thing, but they would be like, oh yeah, whatever. So obviously coming up when you're starting rapping, obviously I wasn't the best. Like, you all have to start from somewhere, innit? Weren't the best. I was decent, weren't the best though, but yeah, people used to violate my thing. Then I start coming up, and I've always seen it as a hobby for me. Just like my mentality with music, it was like, it's a hobby. So at least if nothing does come out of it, I'm not disappointed.
Yeah.
So I've always looked at it as a hobby. And I just progressing, like listening to different things. And obviously as you grow, you experience a lot more. So like my eyes got open to a lot more things. I've been through different experiences, which is then like led me into this. Obviously music was my way to express myself anyway, but them experiences and things that's happened is like giving me more like things to talk about, write about, express. And I think that way I grew, and then people started really like, I think people started then taking me in a little bit more and taking me a little bit more serious. And then obviously now being on Britain's Got Talent, I've got people saying, oh, I rate your thing. Like, I can't lie, back in the days we used to laugh and make jokes, but like, you're doing your thing now, So it's like, yeah, it wasn't easy. It's not an easy journey, man. Like, it's just not an easy journey.
Yeah.
But you know, once you have that mindset, you don't let anyone pull you down. It's cool. Like, get where you want to get to.
Before we started recording, we were just talking about like confidence and having like confidence on stage. Yeah. And you said something that really surprised me. But could you just like sort of say it again?
So off stage, I'm actually a very like shy person. I'm shy to an extent. Like, if I'm really comfortable around you, like, I'll do stupid, like, just a lot of stupidness. Like, you'll know when I'm comfortable around you, basically. But if it's like meeting new people, new groups, I tend to get very like anxious and very shy, and I don't approach people. Like, I wait for them to approach me, so then I could gauge their vibe and their energy to then reciprocate or be like, okay, cool. But yeah, and then on stage, I'm like a completely different person. On stage, you would think I have the maddest confidence. I could talk to anybody, because the way I carry myself on stage is a lot different. Yeah.
And you as well, like, what are you quite relaxed? I get like a relaxed vibe from you. I don't get like anxiety.
Nah, it's a weird one. Like, I feel like in terms of like the anxiousness, I feel like I'm very skeptical on people's like opinions of me. Like I'm very much a person who's like anxious about how someone else views me type thing.
Right.
Like if I walk into a room, I don't want people to look at me and be like, who's this guy? Like yeah, I don't know. Especially in the industry we're in as well. Like when it comes to rapping, because obviously I rap as well. It's hard. It's a weird one being a white youth that raps in it. Like I feel like a lot of people can be like, what's this guy doing? Like, bro thinks he's Eminem. Like, you know them type
Them
type
ones,
things.
them ones,
You know
them
them type
ones.
things. So it's like, I feel like I care a lot about people's opinions. So yeah, that's a bit rough.
Do you obviously just touching on, like you said, you care about like sort of how people view you, or like, you know, you might have like some anxiety like meeting new people.
Yeah.
Do you feel that like in music as a whole, and I guess with social media as well, because I think you've blown up on social media since BGT. Do you think
Yeah.
it's quite image based? Would you say?
I feel like in the game, in the industry, like I therefore feel like people watch your image, like they like you could be the nicest person, but come in the room and you're looking. My mum uses the term dingy, innit? Like she uses the term dingy, innit? So like you could be the nicest person and walk in the room, but like because you're looking like dragged down and whatnot, like they're already gonna look at you in a specific way. I don't really care for like, I don't really care. I like to dress nice anyway, like that's just me, but I don't really care about image, and that me is more personality. Like if I could chat to you calmly and like we can have a laugh, you could banter with me, I could banter with you, then I'm cool.
Yeah.
It's just when your personality is a bit trashy and you're like you're thinking you're the top dog, or that just then that's when me and you we're not gonna click in it. So yeah, I therefore, but as a whole in the industry, I therefore feel like they look at what you wear, how you carry yourself, and that. I personally, I don't think it's right, but that's just what it is, isn't it?
The way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
It's good to always stay authentic to yourself though. You know what I mean? Like, because there's always times I feel like people can get to a certain point in the industry where they lose themselves, and you're just allowing, let's say, this label or this manager to like completely recreate you, and it's just not you. Like, and I feel like we could never fall into that type of trap. Man. Like,
We've always
way.
said like we know exactly what type of artists we are, our style, like especially how we carry ourselves. Like we have the way we dress is unique. Like you would ever catch Taylor in skinny jeans. You would ever catch her in skinny, but me, I'll be in skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Or like,
I like this. I feel like there's a lot going on with this style, and I feel like it's sort of matching. I don't know if you planned this.
We always like accidentally do this, you know. It happens. It just happens. Yeah.
I feel like as a duo, it's never accidental. I feel like secretly.
Oh, you think we pre-plan before we step out?
No, we didn't pre-plan.
Like, what colours you wearing today, bro? Oh, say no more. I'm stepping out in the same thing.
What was your experience of BGT like compared to what you expected it to be like? Did you watch the show before?
Yeah, I used to watch it a lot growing up as a kid.
Same.
It was a lot different. I can tell you that. Like, I remember the paperwork aspect. I was like, yo, this paperwork is nuts. I was like, I didn't realize this is all that went into it behind the scenes. But even like being on there, like experiencing the golden buzzer, I always used to say to myself when I'm younger, why are they crying when they got golden buzzer? Like, I don't understand why they're crying when they got until I went and got here. I was like, yo, okay, cool. Yeah. And then it's like that fact that
because you deep everything. Like.
Exactly. And then it's that fact now we will forever be known as the guys that got the golden buzzer. And we're known as now like I say we're the official BGT rappers because like
exactly that.
Yeah, obviously you had Bars and Melody, they did their thing, but I feel like Alicia said, they ain't had no one like us on the show before.
Exactly that.
So I feel like we brought something completely new that no one's seen. And we brought like a whole different generation watching the show again.
But we also like represent different backgrounds as well. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we've both kind of grown up in like rough areas type thing. So we come from the same background in that sense. But obviously, even just being different in ethnicity and everything like that, we are kind of representing everyone. You know what I mean? Like, there's no one that we don't adapt to. Like, your mum could like us, your nan could like us, then like your son could like us. Like, it's the target audience is for everyone. Like even the music that we make now, like it's not targeted at any kind of audience. You know what I mean? It's just authentic to us, and it's adaptable to anyone.
Yeah. And how has life sort of changed since BGT, or has it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
No, life has changed a lot. Like we're going
For
into
sure.
we're going into like different events that I didn't think I'd be a part of.
Seeing people,
Seeing people that I never thought I'd meet.
People that I like look up to, like.
Can you name drop? Are you allowed to?
You know, I'll say one, but like I hope he never sees this because that'd be embarrassing. Isn't it?
I'm sending it straight to him once it's edited.
But like, obviously when we went to Josh and Abraham's like party thing the other day, like Joyvan Wade was there, which is like mad. Like for me, I've grown up seeing from Man Them on the Wall to like him doing Hollywood movies and everything like that. So to see him in the same space as me, I was like, I was like,
all of those guys are so cool. Like they're the nicest people.
And they're so chill. Like the way they carry themselves. And that's another thing, because I'm one to like observe. Like I won't say much, I'll just observe. And the way he carries himself, like he carries himself so like calm, so humble. He doesn't go around thinking like he's the shit, you know. Like he carries himself so down to earth and so chill. And like if you go up and have a conversation, it will just, you know, chat. I know his brother briefly, innit?
Right.
From socials. And then like I think his other brother, or it's their cousin or something like that. Yeah.
Those guys are honestly the coolest people. Percy was actually at the event before, and he's like always giving advice and like just shedding like light on stuff, and it's really nice when people have made it and they can actually advise. Hence why I want to speak to you guys, 'cause I feel like you guys are like properly on the up and you've had like some success, and it's just good to hear from you. But I was gonna say as well, what is your like goal? What would you like to happen from now for the next like few years?
Honestly, like just taking over, like charts, you know, mobiles. Literally what I said in the BGT song, like mobiles, like taking over charts, tours, like literally selling out places, you know, a lot more headlines, you know, being able to go abroad. Like I think the day we get a show abroad where like everything's sorted, paid for, I feel like I'll sit back and be like,
For me, it's like it's just cementing ourselves into the industry like properly. Like with the opportunity that we're being granted, like we're on our way there. Like there are people who know about us, but there's also people that don't. You know what I mean? Like because not everyone watches Britain's Got Talent anymore. It is kind of like some people say it's dated because like obviously it's been on for so long. Similar with like X Factor, with that dropping off, it's like people are very skeptical about watching the show because it's all repetitive. But I guess for me, my main goal is to literally just like move my mum out and like do everything like that. You know what I mean? Like the things that you need to get done first, kind of thing.
Like, give back, innit?
Exactly that. So for me, it's like my goal is to cement ourselves in the industry, have those tours, have like songs being streamed on radio stations, everything like that. But also like for me, it's moving my mum out. It's also moving myself down to London as well, because I'm always here, but always having to pay for a damn train to come down every time.
Did you guys move in together? Is that
I feel like we discussed that.
We did discuss that. When we was on the
before.
show. Like, and I feel like it'd be sick as well, especially if we could get like a little studio set up in there as well.
Exactly that.
Like depending where we are, like a little setup somewhere. Obviously, Taylor knows how to work a bit of Logic.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still learning to produce. So
mic and that, and if we could do our shit like home, like literally record and just send it out to mix and master, it makes everything 10 times better, 10 times easier as well.
Yeah.
So then we ain't gotta worry about this, that. Like literally, we could wake up and be like, "What, bro? What you feeling like a creative day today? Just bang out all day.
Yeah.
Just make songs, like just record. We do whatever we got to do.
Yeah.
Send them off to get mixed, mastered, and have loads of them there.
Yeah.
So if like any labels are listening that want to like give us funding, like feel free to shout us, man. Like I want a yard, man. It's like even just a little flat, man. Even just a flat.
If I could send this podcast to some labels or some important people who could give some funding, guaranteed I would be asking for some funding for myself too. Be like, listen, I got something going on here, like.
Yo, I'm in overdrive, let me tell you how I feel. Real recognize real, or should I say friends recognize real. Man don't splash when my sauce on spill. I bid farewell to the past that I killed, and I open my arms to the path I build. Think above me, come before I kneel. Aye, I'm the captain.